Hello there amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new exciting Doctor Who video for today. So of course, for this video we are going through all my sonic screwdrivers, aka my entire Doctor Who sonic screwdriver collection. Now, I've been collecting sonic screwdrivers for quite a while, and of course more recently, over the last week, my new sonic screwdriver arrived through the post, and as I was literally busy with everything going on at work at the moment, I forgot to do my unboxing video for it, because I kind of just unboxed it, and then instead of filming for it, I literally just added it into the collection because I was literally excited to put it in with me other sonic screwdrivers. So for this video, I'm literally going to show you what sonic screwdrivers I own in my collection, and of course what ones I am actually missing. So I'll go through the ones I'm missing towards the end of the video, so you know which ones I am actually generally missing. But when we actually are talking about the sonic screwdrivers, I will tell you which doctors are what, and of course, you all know, if you like me and you know your Doctor Who history, you know what sonic screwdrivers there are and how many there are of different variants. So, are you sitting comfortably? Good. So let's get into it. So, my first sonic screwdriver is of course one from classic Doctor Who, and I picked this up around about 2013, 2014, just round about basically the 50th anniversary or just after in Toys R Us, and it is the third Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Now, Toys R Us kind of went bust, I think, around about 2018, 2017. So I actually picked this up in Toys R Us around about the 50th anniversary. And it is the third Doctor's sonic screwdriver that we see him use mainly in seasons 9 and 10. And a little bit of season 8. I can't remember if he actually used the sonic screwdriver in season 7. I need to go back and rewatch that season because I only watched Spare from Space. But the detailing character options have done for the sonic screwdriver for Jon Pertwee is absolutely brilliant. So of course you got the back of it. Now, because I've had this for nearly basically over 10 years, the paint does start to wear off a little bit. So I am hoping to give it a little bit of a repaint at some point. And it does do the sound effects of the sonic screwdriver. So if I hold it up and like that, and so it only does 2 sound effects, and of course it does do it like classic Doctor Who. And I would like to go to a beach at some point in my third Doctor cosplay and literally pretend a sea devil's coming behind me and I'm literally going like that. As the third Doctor does use the sonic screwdriver to kind of detect the mines in the minefields in Doctor and the Sea Devils, which is my favourite Jon Pertwee story. And of course, I love his sonic screwdriver, and I have done 2 cosplays of Jon Pertwee's Doctor. I'm hoping to kind of finish my very first one off, and it will look absolutely perfect, I think. But I love his sonic screwdriver. Just look how good it is, and that's absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, talking about sonic screwdrivers, I am missing the next 2 sonic screwdrivers in order. So the next one, basically, is, of course, the 4th Doctor's. Now, the 4th Doctor sonic screwdriver is pretty rare for me to get my hands on, but luckily, it is available in a DVD box set, aka the Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor time capsule, which basically comes with the DVD release of Terror of the Zygons and 2 CD copies, and of course some fantastic artwork and a figure of the regenerated 4th Doctor. I am hoping to try and get that rare specimen into the collection, so that way I can actually have a fantastic 4th Doctor sonic screwdriver in my collection. But if not, I am trying to track it down through eBay, Amazon.co.uk, and of course Vinted, as I'm trying to track that one down as much as possible. And then, of course, the next sonic screwdriver I am missing is, of course, the 5th Doctor's. And, of course, it's basically the one that we see the 5th Doctor use in Castrovalva all the way down to the Visitation Part 3, where it gets destroyed. And, of course, he says that famous line, "I feel like you just killed an old friend." You know, I absolutely do like the 5th Doctor sonic screwdriver, but the thing is, though, between the 5th and the 4th Doctors, they look so similar, but with a different type of paint app. So I am hoping to get my hands on these 2 sonic screwdrivers, as they are really the main 2 classic ones I do need to get my hands on. And then, of course, basically jumping into the 4th sonic screwdriver for Classic Who, and it is this little beauty, aka the 8th Doctor's. Now, I again picked this up on the same day as I picked up the 3rd Doctor Sonic, because I remember going into Toys R Us that had a load of 8th and 3rd Doctors and a load of 9 and 10 Doctor Sonics, and I didn't really want a load of 9 and 10 Sonics, as you will see a little bit why, as I already had one. But really, this one's actually pretty cool. This one is mainly used for the TV movie, basically for the 8th Doctor. And you can actually say the 7th Doctor, because the 7th Doctor did use it, and he literally went, "There, that should do it," when he's literally seeing the remains of the Master in the TARDIS. And this sonic screwdriver did kind of made a return round about the 50th anniversary, which is why they released this one, I think, because of it basically being used in Night of the Doctor by the 8th Doctor. So you do have the 8th Doctor's sonic screwdriver here. Again, character options, does do the sound effects. It's just a little button. And literally, after all this time, I have not had to change the battery. So the batteries are still going after basically nearly 10 years. And nearly a decade. And it's still in good nick and absolutely brilliant. It does need a few more paint apps because I've had it basically for a very long time. As I said, I've had this since 2013, 2014. Around about that time. So yeah, I do need to get my hands on another one. Or basically give it a repaint. And then, of course, talking about the 8th Doctor's second sonic screwdriver, I have a custom-made one of his Dark Eyes outfit. And, of course, I do use this one for my cosplay of the 8th Doctor in the Dark Eyes universe. So this is what it looks like. A little bit did break off, unfortunately, but I'm not too fussed because it still looks so good and absolutely brilliant. So this is basically the 8th Doctor sonic screwdriver that we see the 8th Doctor use on Big Finish covers, mainly through Dark Eyes, the Doom collection, and I think Stranded and Raminus, or Reminus, something like that. And I actually do quite like the design of it. It's very sleek. I love the bronze colouring of it as well. It looks pretty cool on the DVD, on the actual CD covers. And he said DVD then. But I actually do quite like the sonic screwdriver. And this is one of my favourite custom makes because I actually picked this up from Comic Con a couple of years ago. And I literally have took my care. I've try and take good care with it, as I absolutely do love this sonic screwdriver. And I wish I could find an electronic one basically and see if I can actually have it with the other sonic screwdrivers. But for a custom one, it is absolutely brilliant, and it does go well for my Dark Eyes Big Finish cosplay. As when I was going to do an 8th Doctor one, I was going to do like either his TV movie or basically the Night of the Doctor, but then, of course, I dived into Big Finish and I fell in love with the 8th Doctor's outfit from Dark Eyes with the blue leather jacket, the blue jeans, and, of course, the white t-shirt, and, of course, his sonic screwdriver. So I literally was so happy to get this for £50 at Comic Con a couple of years back. So the next one in my collection is actually an original release, and it is the 9th Doctor's. Now, I used to have this one back as a kid. I literally bought this early this year, around about April, for when I went to go to Comic Con. And you can see it does do light up and it does do all the sound effects, but not very loudly. Again, I did used to play with me 9th Doctor sonic screwdriver basically since 2006 when it first came out. And I've had that many copies of the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic because I've mainly broke them all from my childhood because I just loved Doctor Who growing up. I used to run around with the 9th Doctor and 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver, and it did break quite a while. And so this is one of them. I can't tell you how many I had of these replicas of the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic because I've had so many of them in the past, just absolutely so many of them. And it is actually quite cool to own. So yeah, I do have that one. So I've got the 9th Doctor Sonic. Next one in my collection is, of course, the 10th Doctor Sonic. So this one does light up, but it does not do the sound effect because the batteries or something in the mechanism has stopped the sound because I have changed the battery in it quite a few times. Again, it does lift up. So basically, this is the 10th Doctor Sonic screwdriver from around about Series 3 up until the end of time. So the thing is with this one, even though the sound effect don't work, I'm actually nearly finishing making my Raggedy Doctor outfit because I just need to buy a blue shirt and cut it up a little bit and make tears and rips and stuff to make it like the Raggedy Doctor. And of course I can actually use this as the Raggedy Doctor sonic screwdriver, aka the 11th Doctor, where he points it up and he literally blows up the telephone box, and basically when he's setting all the electricity off and stuff. So I could actually do that for that cosplay. But yeah, I do quite like this one. It is absolutely brilliant, and I've had this one basically since 2021 2022. I bought this from amazon.co.uk because they were really cheap at the point, basically the 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver, so I could basically use this one as the Raggedy Doctors. And then more recently is one I picked up for Comic Con for the 9th and 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver because it's a mixture between the two, and this is actually an American release. So if you open it up, it's got a good lighting on it, as you can see. Really good lighting. Does all the sound effects. And if you literally close it up as well, it does it as well. And this is actually quite a good Sonic. Again, it's not a pen one because the original ones were a pen. So this is actually a good replica from America. And I actually got this from Comic-Con back in July. Not July. Yeah, around about July. June or July. And it looks pretty cool. I've had it on a stand all this time, but I've literally was in the middle of dusting and I literally broke. Well, I've lost the first piece of the stands where it literally holds it up. So I am trying to find out at some point it has fallen down the side of the shelf. But yeah, I do have another replica of the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic screwdriver, which is actually pretty cool. And absolutely I'm glad to actually have it in my collection. So then, of course, we have another Sonic screwdriver. One I've had so many variants of because they all just break on me. And I do like to try and look after them. And I've had this one since 2020. So it is the 11th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. Oops. So as you can see, what I mean like that, it does happen. So it is the 11th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. And this is basically a 2010 because of the button. I've had so many of these Sonic screwdrivers, so many of them. And this one I do try my best to keep in good nick because I absolutely love it. And it works so well for mainly my 11th Doctor cosplay. And of course my 12th Doctor cosplay for Series 8. It is absolutely brilliant to own. And of course it does, as you know, it does do the actual spring location. And it does work, as you can see, like so. So it is pretty cool to actually have in the collection. So yeah, I do have the 11th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. Then of course we have another 11th Doctor Sonic screwdriver, but this one I've had since 2014 and it is a bit battered. The light don't work on it, and of course as you can see here the paintwork's half rubbed off it, and this one doesn't do the springy, so it doesn't have the spring to it. And the reason I've got this one in collection is because I actually used this one for Series 9. So you remember when the Doctor basically throws Davros' Sonic screwdriver into the sand, and of course we find out all these years later Davros actually had it, and of course you see him holding it to the Doctor in, as you all know, the fantastic story known as The Witch's Familiar. So I do kind of have this one as that variant that Davros is. So technically it is the Doctor Sonic screwdriver, but it's a later version of it where basically he literally threw it down to Davros. So yeah, I do have that one as well, but the light don't work on it. So it is actually pretty cool. And I do place this one in my remote control Davros's hand sometimes, as he's basically holding on to it like he's dying in that episode. So yeah, I do have that one. And then of course, next variant I got is of course the 12th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver. Again, the batteries are going in it, but it still does light up, but not properly. I need to find a way how to change the batteries in this one. But it's actually quite good because I absolutely love this Sonic screwdriver. Out of all of modern Doctor Who, this is honestly my second favourite Sonic screwdriver. And the fact my favourite modern Doctor used it in his last season. Well, basically he got it at the end of Hellbent. And we see him use it in stories like, for the whole of Series 10. But he basically used it mainly in the Husbands of River Song all the way down to Twice Upon a Time. And I absolutely do love the Sonic screwdriver. I am, as I said, trying to find a way to change the batteries in it. But as soon as I change the batteries in it, it'll be absolutely perfect. And I can actually use it once again. I still use it, but I can mainly keep this on display. Because, again, when I picked this up around about 2016, 17 time, I used to basically play with this quite a lot around about then. And, of course, I was literally in my early 20s back then, or late teens, and I used to love going to Doctor Who, basically cosplaying different Doctors. I actually think I picked this up from the Doctor Who expedition back in 2016, where my aunt and uncle took me. I actually think I picked it up back then. It's been a while. I've had it for quite a while. Honestly, just quite a while. It's absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, also we have 2 copies of the 13th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. So again, unfortunately, this one does not work. It never has done. So I bought this from a car boot, technically a couple of years ago, and I got told it did work, and unfortunately, it never worked. So it was actually quite nice to own it still, because it is technically the 13th Doctor Sonic screwdriver. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. But I did pick up this one, And of course, I got it from Comic Con. It lights up like the 13th Doctor's. And I actually do quite like this one. It really is pretty cool. I actually did pick this up at Comic Con back in April at Wrexham Comic Con. So yeah, literally I'm scanning, yeah. Like, so it is pretty cool to own. And so technically I do own 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13th Doctor. So I mainly have most of modern Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers. And the fact it still lights up when I'm not even touching the button is pretty cool. It does turn itself off. But yeah, I do absolutely love it. Honestly, I do. And then, of course, I have not one, I got 2 14th Doctor's sonic screwdrivers. So they both do ticket the sound effect, but this one has a button. So if you hold the button in, it changes colour. But the thing is, though, I don't really want to change its colour because I am actually planning on getting the 14th Doctor's proper cosplay. And which is why I kind of brought this one. That's me, sorry. So yeah, this is my original one, and of course this is technically the second release of the 14th Doctor Sonic because this is the first release, but I will show you that this one, the very first release, a bit later on. So this one is actually the standard edition of the 14th Doctor Sonic screwdriver that you can actually pick up in Forbidden Planet. It doesn't change colour, it still keeps the original sound effects. It does have the sonic bit where you literally plug it in, like where you could put a screwdriver in and stuff. It does do the sound effects and stuff. I do quite like the 14th Doctor Sonic, and it's pretty good to own, but I actually prefer the limited edition one with the whole chromo look. Now, there is actually 3 variants of the sonic screwdriver because we know that one is coming out a bit later on, and I think it's coming out on the Characters Online's website, another limited edition where it's all gold. And I was thinking of getting the gold one, but nah, I didn't really want it. I really did not want to get it, and I actually do quite like the standard one. So if you see me go to Comic Con dressed as 14th Doctor in the future, I probably would use this one. I don't really want my other one to get damaged because it's just so good to actually have. But the standard one, it actually does work, and I do actually quite like it, and it's absolutely brilliant. As again, I do have the chrome look as well, and it's a bit more shiny. It is very, very more shiny. It does capture the light. The chrome of it is absolutely perfect. Just look how good it looks. And of course, it does light up. Again, it does change colour. Now, this is the limited edition, and you can still get this on the Character Online website. Now, I actually bought this from Vinted, a second-hand website here in the UK. I did pay £50 for it because I did not know it was still available on Character Online's website until basically I brought it and I looked and I was like, I could have bought it a bit cheaper than what I actually paid for it. And I didn't really pay for the box. I just kind of paid for it on its own, and they just sent it me like this, no box to protect it. So it literally was in the box in the parcel, but not the actual packaging that you have when you buy it from Character Online's website. Which I didn't really find too fussed because I don't normally keep the packaging and stuff for the figures and stuff. But again, it does light up, it does do all the sound effects. I actually do absolutely love it. So yeah, I do absolutely fantastically love it. It's absolutely brilliant and fantastic to own. So again, I do own a lot of sonic screwdrivers. There are quite a few I haven't got, like the 4th and 5th Doctors for Classic Who. And of course, as you can tell, I do not own the War Doctor sonic screwdriver. And at this current point in time, I am absolutely waiting for the standard edition of the 15th Doctor Sonic to come out over here in the UK. Now, it was released back in basically a month or 2 months ago for San Diego Comic Con and a limited edition packaging, but you had to buy it over there. And because I was working at the time and I didn't really have the money to buy myself a ticket to go over to the States, because I would love to go to the States, I would love to go to a Comic Con in San Diego. I would really love to go to Comic Con over in the United States because I think they look so good from all the videos and pictures I've seen. And I'm really looking forward to when the 15th Doctor Sonic come out, so it can actually work well with my 2 cosplays for the 15th Doctor. Mainly for the Legend of Ruby Sunday and Night of the Doctor Sonic. Not Night of the Doctor, the Empire of Death Sonic. Talking about other Sonics I do have the Master Sonic Laser. And of course, it doesn't work. The sound effect's gone, but I can't really moan because I did pay £2 for it. So the sound effect doesn't work. It does work sometimes. I just got to try and work out how to change the batteries in it. But I actually do absolutely quite love it. It's absolutely brilliant. There is another two sonic, well, it is technically another two sonic screwdrivers I do not own in the collection. There is the River Song sonic screwdriver, and of course there is the sonic pen that we see Miss Foster use in Departing of the Ways. Unfortunately, I do not own them, and I do not own the sonic lipstick from the Sarah Jane Adventures. So I do own quite a bit of sonic screwdrivers, not the whole lot of the sonic screwdrivers as I would like to. I would like to try and get my hands on the Sarah Jane one and Miss Foster's and River Song sonic screwdriver at some point. But I mainly am trying to focus more on the Doctor's sonic screwdrivers because I've only got, what, 4 I need to get, which is basically the 4th, 5th, and of course the War Doctors and the 15th Doctors. But hopefully that does come out over here in the UK in shops like in B&M. So when we get like the wave of Doctor Who figures, because we know we've got wave 1 coming out basically later on this month, or the early of October, and then of course we have another wave coming out in November, December time. So I am hoping the 15th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver does come out as part of that set, with that release, because I would absolutely love to get my hands on the 15th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver. So yeah, that's technically everything I own in my Sonic Screwdriver collection, as you know. So technically I own the 3rd Doctor Sonic, the 8th Doctor Sonic from the TV movie, or technically the 7th Doctor's, you can actually say as well. The Dark Eye Sonic Screwdriver, the custom replica. The 9th Doctor Sonic, the Raggedy Doctor Sonic, the 9th and 10th Doctor Sonic, my two 12th and 11th, well, my 11th and 12th Doctor Sonic screwdrivers, my 11th Doctor Sonic screwdriver, my two 13 Doctor Sonic screwdrivers, and of course my two 14 Doctor Sonic screwdrivers. And I absolutely love the chrome ones. So out of these two, my favourite one is definitely the chrome one. I absolutely love the chrome one. It looks so good, and I absolutely am glad to have it in person. It really is quite unique. It's very unique, not nice. Very, very unique. Now, if I'm going to cosplay the 14th Doctor, I would definitely use the standard one, just because I don't want anything to happen to this beauty. I absolutely love it. So that is technically everything I own in my Sonic Screwdriver collection, including the Master Sonic Laser. So let me know in the comments, what do you own for Doctor Who Sonic Screwdrivers? What do you own? Do you own all of them? Do you own, like I do, like a smidge of them? Or do you own 1 or 2? Let me know in the comments. Please do, let's go and share. And I hope you enjoy this video. And I'll show you another part of my Doctor Who collection at some point in the video, because I have got so many collections in my Doctor Who actual fantastic collection. Because I've got the figure collection, I've got the Big Finish collection, I've got the Blu-ray collection behind me, I've got the DVD collection, the VHS collection, the Target books collection. I even have the actual proper BBC books, basically, for the 9th and 10th Doctor, and a few classic Doctors books. So I might do a video talking and showing them off, really, showing my other Doctor Who books I own apart from the Target ones, if you are interested in that one. So let me know. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being magnificent viewers and subscribers.